Hi, my name is Ben Edwards. I'm a law professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the William S. Boyd School of Law, and I write about business and securities law issues. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about FINRA and its governance structure because it's not something everyone understands. So the easiest way to get started is with a bit of history. FINRA as an organization goes back very far. It dates to 1792 when a group of traders gathered around a buttonwood tree in New York City and formed an agreement to regulate how they would trade. And this is the Buttonwood Tree Agreement, which originally created the New York Stock Exchange. After a long period of time passed, the New York Stock Exchange grew. Its ability to regulate its members also grew. And then Congress became concerned with the regulation of the securities markets after the Great Depression. And so it passed the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities and Exchange Act of 1934. And then to regulate other exchanges and other broker-dealer firms that weren't members of the New York Stock Exchange, it passed the Maloney Act in 1938. And that allowed brokerages to set up their own self-regulatory organization if they weren't a member of the New York Stock Exchange. And so a lot of brokerages did this, and they formed an organization known as the NASD, or the National Association of Securities Dealers. And the NASD lasted until about 2007. When it merged with the regulatory arm of the New York Stock Exchange to create FINRA. So FINRA is the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. And it is an interesting beast. It is not really government and it's not really private. I've described it as existing in this liminal space between business and government. And so the way it's organized, it is a financial self-regulatory organization. So it means that the industry largely regulates itself through FINRA, but it's not purely self-regulatory at this point. Right now, FINRA's top governance structure on its board of governors has a mix of industry and public governors. And the reason it has so many public governors is because of scandals at the NASD. Congress and others pushed for the NASD to have more public representatives on its governing board. So right now, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority has 10 industry-affiliated or non-public governors on its board. 3 of those come from large firms. One of them comes from a mid-sized firm. One is a dealer insurance affiliate. Another is from the investment companies. And so there's also one floor member. And so the idea is that there are these 10 industry elected or industry-affiliated members on the governing board. But on top of that, you have 12 public governors, and public governors are there to represent the interests of the public. And they're required under FINRA's bylaws to have no material business relationship with a broker or a dealer. And so the idea is that the public governors are there to provide accounting. Importantly, none of these public governors are appointed by public agencies. The FINRA board appoints them on its own. So FINRA has drawn criticism in recent years for having public governors on its board that seem to have a lot of industry affiliations. And I should disclose that I made some of those criticisms. But it is doing a lot with the new CEO to try and change its overall governance structure or improve its governance. And so one of the things it's done is recently released a special notice, released it earlier this month, and it's creating a new portal for members of the public and other stakeholders in the regulatory space to nominate themselves for positions either on FINRA's board of governors or on any of its many other subsidiary and advisory boards. And the idea here is that there's now a mechanism for people to put their names forward as being interested in representing the interests of the public in FINRA's processes. And so if this is something that interests you, either to participate with an industry perspective, or if you're a more of a public interest stakeholder, you should know that this portal now exists and there's a way to get involved with the governance of this